Hey boo-boos. I seem to have changed my greeting from soul fam, lovers, and now you're all boo-boos. Maybe I'm feeling soppy. Anywho, follow up from yesterday. If you listened to my video message yesterday, I was speaking about being in the void, in this kind of in-between stage. You've closed all the doors behind you and you've shut out all the things that are no longer serving you over there. But now you're kind of in this space, this void, and the new things haven't come in yet. And you're kind of like, what am I doing? Where am I standing? How am I feeling? It's all a bit weird. Anyway, I called it In the Void last night and saying, it might feel a bit low, might feel a bit dark, might feel a bit lonely, but don't add any extra narratives. It's just a blank canvas ready to put something new on it. Anyway, following on from that yesterday, last night I had the next part of that In the Void message. So I was in the void, and this time it felt like some weird waiting room, like I was waiting for an appointment, and I was in there by myself, and it was this very small boxy square room, and I had a chair, and I was like, yeah, it's good, I know I'm in the void, I know I'm in a waiting room. And then I was picturing this waiting room was like the place where all the dross, all the little bits of dust from the old chapters were still, being removed. And this voice came and this person arrived. I don't picture their face, but there was someone in the room with me, couldn't tell you who, and then they said to me, what are you waiting for? What do you want? And I suddenly stopped to think, what do you mean, what do I want? I'm waiting for the things to arrive, and I'm in some sort of waiting room. And then they said, yes, but it's entirely up to you how long you wait. What do you want? And I was like, what do you mean, what do I want? And then I was kind of thinking, like, well, I want to get out of this void, even though I'm really happy just to be here, because I know it's just momentary. I don't really know how long I'm going to be waiting. I don't really know what's coming next. And they went, well, that's all entirely up to you. And then I felt this feeling, that's it. I felt this feeling that it was as if I was underwater. And these snorkels that you have, I was completely underwater. But because I had a snorkel in my mouth, like the tube that helps you to breathe, because I had this snorkel, metaphorical, in this waiting room, I was like, well, I can breathe, so I'm in no rush to go anywhere. And they were like, well, what is it that you're doing whilst you're here? What were you sensing? And I was like, I'm actually just tuning in to how I want to feel when I leave this waiting room. And then I was aware that I had all these sensations in my body, and I was tuning into them, and it was like desire, or like sensuality, or these warm glows, and there was these like pulses in my body. Yet my mind was like the snorkel, and my mind was above the water, telling me, go with your feelings, go with what feels good, as if I was separate from my mind, and my mind was actually my friend for once, saying, it's all right, we can breathe. This logical part of us breathes, but we know that you know that this is all about feeling. How do you want to feel when you leave this waiting room? So then I was tuning into the feelings in my body as if my head was not a part of the rest of me. I was totally tuning into my heart space, my emotions, like the blood that was pulsing through me, but not blood, like energetic blood. How I wanted to feel alive. And I said to the person in the waiting room, I want to feel like this. And it was like juicy, like warm, sensual, excited, intuitive. Like there was something very intuitive. Like I kind of wanted to snake out of there just on this feeling alone. And then the voice said, well, what's stopping you? And I was about to say that person, this situation, that. And all of the things that I was about to list, they appeared before me and then fell flat. As if to say, no, they're not standing in your way. But you like to use them as an excuse that they stand in your way. And I was like, whoa, that's deep. There's me thinking, well, that person might not like it if I change, and that person might not like it if I fully follow my desires, because that will mean I'm fully expressing myself, and that might, and they won't, well, if we show you that they're not going to stand in your way, what's behind that? What are you afraid of? And I was like, well, they might leave me. Because if I fully express myself and they're not standing in my way because I'm not listening to their resistance to me doing what I want to do, the real root or the reason why I might not do it is because I'll be afraid of losing friends, family, partnerships. And they were like, So then I realized the reason sometimes we're in a waiting room is because we need to stop and choose to fully express ourselves and drop the fear and the lies we tell ourselves as to why we're not going to fully step into our power. We can blame it on X, Y, Z, that person won't get it. Well, they will move out the way. So what's really the problem? Yes, you might lose some people. Yes, you might have to readjust to a new environment, whatever. But you can't blame others for not moving. You're in charge. And I was like, okay. And then I saw all these people fall down. I saw my own lies, that I'm sort of using them as a buffer excuse why I can't fully jump in and be this next version of myself. Realised I want to be that version of myself more than anything, because I was tuned into the feeling of it, whilst my mind was holding me safe with this snorkel. I hope this makes sense. It made sense in the dream, but it's the analogy. Then when all these things fell down, I saw in this grey, dark, void waiting room, blue skies suddenly appeared up above me. And then my brain said, blue skies will always arrive, you know this. Sunshine always follows clouds. When have you not seen a blue sky, even if you've had days of storms? Blue skies will always exist. And there was a part of me that was thinking, I've been waiting for those blue skies. Something else happened. The earth opened up. This black crow flew past me. I saw a flash of a star. And there was this deep, dark cave with a tiny bit of backlight and these gems. But it was going even darker than the waiting room. Even deeper into an unknown place. It wasn't a familiar blue sky, but I thought I'd been waiting for this blue sky so I could come out of this waiting room. But when it came to it, I wanted to go into an even darker space because there's an explorer here. And she knew that she belonged down there, and she knew she was safe wherever the hell she went. And it's time just to be who she knows she is. And who you are wants the same for you. So stop with your excuses, my love, and go and be that bright star that you are.